Sorry, I did turn my gain up a little bit. Today, we are going to be doing the predictions for the first round of the NHL playoffs. I found this little bracket tool on the website of the NHL. And hopefully it's still going to be here beyond this round. But I suppose we'll see. So I'm going to have my phone up here looking up some things to help me come to my decisions. I'm doing all of this off the cuff. Coming off the cuff. Just my gut reaction to what I think, how I think these matchups are going to go. And we're just going to do the first round, kind of like I've done the NBA playoffs, which my round 2 prediction for the NBA playoffs just went up yesterday, if you have not yet seen that. So let's get into it. Starting off, we're going to start with the Western Conference, then go to the Eastern Conference. Actually, let's alternate. I'll go back and forth. Colorado at Nashville. Ooh, this actually might be like right where my camera is. It kind of is. Maybe I hide my camera. Okay. So we see the difference between the two teams here. I'm just gonna go without my camera for now, past the intro, I suppose. So, goodbye everybody. You don't see me now. The Colorado Avalanche, who are the first seed in the West, and the Nashville Predators, who are the first wild card spot. I don't really want to get too much, or excuse me, the second wild card spot rather. I'm not going to get too into the weeds on this one because I think this is a pretty easy answer here. I think that. Hold on. That's weird. I just got a notification that my card was used at a Walmart, but I have my card. Okay, I'll deal with that later. I'm not gonna let that distract me. Anyways, weird. Colorado, I don't think that Nashville has any way to beat out Colorado, especially not in a 7-game series. Personally, I think that Colorado is kind of destined for the finals. That's been my opinion since the start of this season. I'm not changing my opinion now. But yeah, I think Colorado's probably going to the finals. I don't think Nashville really has much to, to go against them there. So, first round, Colorado Avalanche. Number of games. It's not letting me put in the number of games. Okay. Alright. I thought I'd be able to put in the number of games, but apparently not. That's really weird. Okay. The Minnesota Wild versus the St. Louis Blues. These teams are actually extremely close to one another in terms of, this. their points. The Blues are only 2 points shy of the Wild. Goals per game, the Blues are actually scoring slightly more and allowing slightly fewer goals against. And the power play more successful for the Blues. Penalty kill more successful for the Blues. Coming into this, I was actually kind of thinking that the Western Conference Final would be... Well, actually, that doesn't make sense. It can't be Minnesota versus Colorado, but I did think that either Minnesota or Colorado would be in the Western Conference Final. So I guess whoever won this upcoming series. I hadn't, realized that they were on the same side of the bracket. nevertheless, seeing this, I am kind of tempted to say that the Blues could get ahead of them. But I don't know. Like my heart says Minnesota, but reading this, I think it could go St. Louis. But I'm gonna go Minnesota. I'm gonna go with my heart on this one. I think they're gonna be a little bit hungrier. I think having Fleury, who is a playoff tested goalie, is good, and I think Minnesota's just an all-around good team this season. Kirill Kaprizov obviously is their best player. I think he's gonna have a monster playoffs. So we're gonna go Minnesota. Okay. So I was gonna alternate. Okay, well, let's do the first two on the right side of the bracket. Sorry, I'm all over the place right now. The Florida Panthers versus the Washington Capitals. I honestly, this is obviously a super, no duh. Obviously, I'm not saying anything profound analysis, but I think this all comes down to Alexander Ovechkin. If Alexander Ovechkin goes off and has a monster playoff performance, I think the Capitals could get past the Panthers. But, I mean, for my money, the Panthers are just such a wagon this season. They're just so dominant. They have multiple come-from-behind victories. I feel like there's a lot of confidence in that locker room. A lot of skill up and down the team. Obviously, the game changes a little bit in the playoffs. And the Panthers are a high-scoring, fast offense team. So maybe that slows down a little bit in the playoffs when the game shifts. But I don't know. The Capitals, they're getting older now. I feel like they're on the decline a bit. They did earn that second wild card spot, but I don't know. I think I'm going Florida here, and then Toronto or Tampa Bay. This is tough. I mean, Toronto is my second favorite team in the entire league, behind the Vegas Golden Knights, and I think this comes down to Matthews and Marner. Marner had a terrible playoffs last season. Matthews did not look good in the playoffs either. Austin Matthews just won the Rocket Richard Trophy, top scorer in the entire NHL. And I feel like right now, I just kind of get the feeling that my impression is that currently he is the best player in the NHL. And I don't know, I have him above McDavid, and I think he has to really prove that in the playoffs. Neither of them have, and I think that if Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner can get it together, I think they could beat the Tampa Bay Lightning. With Tampa Bay, I question their hunger after back-to-back cups. How do you stay motivated to keep winning? It's hard. And I know that historically the Maple Leafs, especially in the first round of the playoffs, it's kind of the meme, right? Oh, they're just going to lose in the first round. And I get it. So maybe, I don't know, maybe it's false hope or something, but I feel like it's going to be different. Give me Toronto over Tampa Bay. Alright, Calgary versus Dallas. Calgary versus Dallas. Calgary has just been an insane team to watch this season. I was dead wrong about my predictions for them coming into this season. I did not expect them to be this good. I don't think a lot of people expected them to be this good, but they took that first spot in the Pacific and then basically never looked back. The Flames, just a fantastic offensive team. There's something about the Stars. I feel like the Stars, I don't know, they kind of got it together at the perfect time right now towards the end of the season, and they play a sort of game that can be very successful in the playoffs. And I question Calgary. They're a bit smaller. They're not as physical of a team. In the playoffs, when they let, the whistles kind of get swallowed a little bit, is that going to be to their benefit? I don't know. But I think right now, I just have to go Calgary. And this is probably pretty boring because I'm kind of just going chalk right now, as some people would say, just going chalk on the list. Picking all the favorites to win, not picking any upsets, but this is where I get to pick my first upset because I think that the Kings will beat the Edmonton Oilers. Oh, I see. Avalanche over the Predators in 5. Minnesota over the Blues in 7. Flames over the Stars in 5. And I think this is going to be my biggest Kings sweep the Oilers. These are my weird predictions here. This might just be me wanting to be contrarian and me wanting to, I don't know, pick an upset, because I do want to pick an upset, at least one. But I really think that, I don't know, the Edmonton Oilers being basically a one-line team. Now the addition of Evander Kane has been big for them. Evander Kane he's really kind of woken up that team in a certain way, I think, and I think he was a great addition to the team. But I don't know, there's just something about the Oilers, and I feel like they're not going to be successful in the playoffs, and the Kings have this very interesting mix of young, fast, hungry players and chiseled veterans who've been there and done that before. And I think the Kings are actually kind of a sneaky team to maybe, I don't think they'll upset Calgary, but I think they could take Calgary to 6 or 7, but that's for the next video. So Kings, the number of games I'm not going to really hold myself to, but I could potentially see them sweeping the Oilers. Probably not, but you never know. Okay, Carolina over Boston. I don't think I need to get into this too much, especially because, as you guys know, I'm not super, just like with basketball, I'm not super well versed in the Eastern Conference teams. I just have a harder time following the Eastern Conference because of the time zones and everything. I live on the West Coast, so watching East Coast games, it's a bit early for me to be watching. But the Carolina Hurricanes, I know that they pretty much dominated the Metropolitan Division all season. I think the Rangers were actually close, weren't they? Yeah, 108, 116 out there, 8 points back, so. But although Boston did have a good stretch of games to kind of finish off the season, I think Carolina's going to be too much. And the Rangers over Pittsburgh. Rangers versus Pittsburgh. Again, I don't really have too strong of an opinion about either. But I just feel like it's the Rangers to go right now. You have a great goalie. You have Adam Fox, one of the best defensemen in the entire league. You've got a fantastic coach in Gerard Gallant. Wow, can't talk. But if you can even get those younger guys going, like Lafreniere, then I think the Rangers could do some interesting stuff. Panthers over Capitals in 4. I'm gonna say Maple Leafs over Lightning in 6. Hurricanes over Bruins. Let's do another sweep, make it spicy, and we'll take this one to 7. How about that? So these are my current predictions. The number of games, take that with a grain of salt, but I have the Colorado Avalanche beating the Nashville Predators in 5 games. I have the Minnesota Wild beating the St. Louis Blues in 7 games. I have the Calgary Flames beating the Dallas Stars in 5 games, and I have the Los Angeles Kings sweeping the Edmonton Oilers. Eastern Conference, I have the Florida Panthers sweeping the Washington Capitals. I have the Toronto Maple Leafs beating the Tampa Bay Lightning in 6. The Carolina Hurricanes beating the Boston Bruins in 4, and the New York Rangers beating the Pittsburgh Penguins in 7. So those are my current predictions. For my NBA first round predictions, I went 6 for 8. I went 6 for 8. So let's see what I can do here. See if I do as good or better in the NHL. I have been following the NHL a little bit more closely than the NBA this season, so hopefully my predictions are somewhat more accurate, but I suppose we shall see. So in the comments down below, let me know what you guys think about my predictions, or what your predictions are for the Stanley Cup playoffs, the first round. Let me know what you agree with, what you disagree with. I would love to hear your thoughts, and I try to respond to all relevant comments to the best of my ability, at least a couple times a week. Anyways, if you guys liked the video, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this every single day. Until next time, guys. Bye-bye.